Picture this. It's 15th March. Your HR sends that panic-inducing email asking for investment proofs. You rush to invest 1.5 lakhs somewhere, anywhere, just to save tax. Sound familiar? You're not alone. Every year, crores of Indians make this exact mistake, blindly picking tax-saving options without understanding what they're actually signing up for. Here's the shocking truth. The difference between choosing the right tax-saving instrument versus the wrong one could mean a gap of 15 to 20 lakhs over your working lifetime. Yes, you heard that right. The same Section 80C limit, the same tax saved, but dramatically different wealth created. Today, we are settling the biggest debate in Indian personal finance once and for all. ELSS versus PPF versus NPS. Which one deserves your hard-earned money in 2024? But here's what makes this video different. I'm not going to give you a generic answer. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which option is perfect for your age, your risk appetite, and your financial goals. Whether you're 25 and just got your first job, or 45 and thinking about retirement, stay till the end because the answer might surprise you. Let's decode this together. Before we compare, let's understand what each option actually is. Think of these as three different vehicles, all heading towards the same destination of tax saving, but taking very different routes. First, ELSS, or Equity Linked Savings Scheme. This is essentially a mutual fund that invests primarily in stocks. It's managed by professional fund managers who pick companies they believe will grow. The key word here is equity, meaning your money rides the stock market waves. Second, PPF, or Public Provident Fund. This is a government-backed savings scheme that's been around since 1968. Your grandfather probably has one. It's essentially you lending money to the government, and they pay you interest. No market risk here, the government guarantees your returns. Third, NPS, or National Pension System. This is a retirement-focused scheme where your money gets invested in a mix of equity, corporate bonds, and government securities. You choose how aggressive or conservative you want to be. Here's the crucial difference most people miss. ELSS and NPS are market-linked, meaning your returns depend on how markets perform. PPF is fixed return, meaning you know exactly what you're getting. This fundamental difference changes everything about who should choose what. Now let's dive into the factors that actually matter for your decision. Let's talk about something most people underestimate: lock-in periods. This is how long your money is essentially trapped before you can access it freely. And the differences here are massive. ELSS has the shortest lock-in at just 3 years. Invest today, and you can withdraw after 36 months. This is the shortest lock-in among all Section 80C options. That's a huge advantage for anyone who values flexibility. PPF locks your money for 15 years. Yes, 15. You can make partial withdrawals from the 7th year onwards, but with restrictions. And here's what many don't realize: PPF works in blocks. If you extend it after 15 years, each extension is for another 5 years. So your money stays relatively illiquid for a very long time. NPS is the strictest of all. Your money is essentially locked until you turn 60. There are partial withdrawal options for specific purposes like children's education, medical emergencies, or buying a house, but only up to 25% of your contributions. The bulk of your money stays locked until retirement. Now think about this practically. If you're 25 years old and invest in NPS today, that money is locked for 35 years. In ELSS, you could potentially reinvest the same money 10 times over in that period. That compounding difference is enormous. Lock-in isn't just about patience, it's about opportunity cost and life's uncertainties. Now the question everyone wants answered, which gives the best returns? Let me share real historical data, not promises, not projections, actual performance. PPF currently offers 7.1% annual interest, compounded yearly. Over the last 10 years, it has ranged between 7 to 8.5%. It's stable, predictable, but here's the catch: it barely beats inflation. After accounting for 4 to 5% inflation, your real returns are just 2 to 3%. You're preserving wealth, not really growing it aggressively. ELSS funds, being equity-based, have historically delivered 12 to 15% annual returns over 10-year periods. Top-performing funds have even touched 16 to 18%. But, and this is important, there are years when ELSS gives negative returns too. In 2008, many ELSS funds fell 40%. In 2020, there was a sharp drop before recovery. Short-term volatility is real. NPS returns depend on your asset allocation. The equity portion has given around 12 to 14% historically, while the corporate bond and government securities portions give 8 to 10%. Most people in NPS get blended returns of 9 to 11%. Let me put this in rupee terms. 1.5 lakhs invested annually for 20 years at 7% PPF rate becomes approximately 65 lakhs. The same amount in ELSS at 12% becomes around 1 crore 20 lakhs. That's almost double the wealth for the same investment. Returns matter enormously over long periods. Here's where it gets personal. Your perfect mix depends heavily on two factors: your age and your risk tolerance. Let me give you a practical framework. If you're between 22 to 30 years old, you have time on your side. Market crashes don't scare you because you have decades to recover. My suggestion? Go aggressive. Put 70% of your ATC limit in ELSS, 30% in NPS for that extra 50,000 deduction under ATCCD. Skip PPF entirely at this age. Your human capital, your future earning potential, is your biggest asset. Let your financial capital take calculated risks. If you're between 31 to 40 years old, you're likely balancing EMIs, family responsibilities, and career growth. You want growth but need some stability. I'd recommend 50% ELSS, 30% NPS, and 20% PPF. This gives you the upside of equity while building a guaranteed corpus. If you're between 41 to 50 years old, retirement is no longer a distant concept. Capital protection becomes important. Consider 30% ELSS, 40% NPS, and 30% PPF. You still need equity exposure to beat inflation in retirement, but you can't afford massive drawdowns when you're close to needing the money. Above 50, focus shifts to preservation. 20% ELSS maximum, 40% PPF, 40% NPS with conservative allocation. Your goal now is protecting what you've built. Risk appetite also matters independently of age. If market falls make you lose sleep, reduce equity exposure regardless of age. Investing shouldn't cause anxiety. Let's talk about taxation because this is where most comparisons go incomplete. PPF enjoys E status, meaning exempt, exempt, exempt. Your contribution is tax-free under ATC. The interest earned is tax-free. And the maturity amount is completely tax-free. No tax at any stage. This is genuinely powerful, especially for people in higher tax brackets. ELSS also enjoys E status but with a condition. While investment gets ATC benefit and there's no tax during holding, gains above 1 lakh rupees on redemption are taxed at 10% as long-term capital gains. So if your ELSS grows to 5 lakhs from 3 lakhs invested, you pay 10% tax on 1 lakh, which is 10,000 rupees. Still very tax efficient, but not completely tax-free like PPF. NPS is where it gets complicated. It follows EET, exempt, taxed. Your contribution gets tax deduction. The growth is tax-free. But at maturity, only 60% can be withdrawn as a tax-free lump sum. The remaining 40% must be used to buy an annuity, and that annuity income is taxed as per your slab. This is NPS's biggest drawback. After decades of investing, you're forced to buy an annuity which typically offers just 5 to 6% returns and is fully taxable. Many financial experts argue this diminishes NPS's attractiveness significantly despite the extra 50,000 deduction under 80CCD 1B. Let's bring everything together with clear, actionable advice. If you want maximum flexibility and highest return potential, if you can stomach short-term volatility, if you're young and have 15 plus years before retirement, ELSS is your primary weapon. Use it aggressively. The 3-year lock-in is short enough, and equity historically rewards long-term patience. If you want guaranteed returns, zero risk, complete tax-free status, and you're building a corpus for specific goals like children's education or conservative retirement planning, PPF has its place. It won't make you wealthy, but it won't let you down either. Just know that inflation will eat into your real returns. If you're a salaried employee, especially a government employee, and want forced retirement savings with some tax benefits, NPS can complement your portfolio. The additional 50,000 deduction under 80CCD is attractive. But never put all your ATC eggs in the NPS basket due to the annuity compulsion and taxation at withdrawal. My personal take? For most Mahayukti Finance viewers who are millennials building wealth, start with ELSS as your base. It offers the best risk-reward for wealth creation. Add NPS for the extra deduction if you're disciplined about retirement. Use PPF strategically for debt allocation in your overall portfolio. Remember, the best tax-saving instrument is the one that aligns with your goals, your timeline, and your sleep at night factor. Don't copy someone else's strategy. Build your own based on what we discussed today. If this video helped you gain clarity, hit that subscribe button because every week we decode personal finance to help you build real wealth. Your financial freedom journey starts with informed decisions. Make them wisely.